This is Tetris Effect Connected. I'm still a little bit too traumatized to play State of Decay 2 in the morning after losing my sheriff and sort of my best fighter, so I'm just going to chill out a little bit and play a game that is designed to put you into a good mood. I saw Tetris Effect Connected on Game Pass, and I was like, this is what I need right now. I haven't played it before, but, I mean, I've played Tetris before, obviously, but I haven't played this iteration of it. Do I want a basics tutorial? I mean, I know what the basics of Tetris is. I guess I can go back and try it later if I want to. The Deep. Oh, man. This is going to be like playing Subnautica, only different. Okay. Okay, so I can move left and right with the D-pad. Okay, up rockets me to the bottom. I thought up was going to be rotate. Okay, A rotates. Up just rockets straight down. Down moves you more quickly. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played Tetris. I gotta kind of remind myself, like, what direction the rotate button moves. So, looks like it's counterclockwise. Oh, but I can also go clockwise. A and B do different things. Oops. Okay. Gotta remember what the buttons do. I know I've got the little hole down there that I am not doing anything about, but it's not that much of a threat. Jules says 2 days without State of Decay 2 in the stream. The pain is real. So partly it's the pain. Partly it's, I mean, I used to never play State of Decay 2 on the stream. That's actually a fairly recent thing I started doing. I used to only use this stream to try out games that were not my own, but I don't know. I had enough people in the audience who seemed to really like watching me play and comment on State of Decay 2 that I started doing it more and more. But I probably do need a break anyway. I mean, I've been playing it a lot lately. And I say, so even though I'm not, you know, playing my home copy of the game right now, I still have been playing it for work. In fact, one of the best signs is when I can rid myself of enough of my sort of like personal implementation tasks that I actually have time to play test other people's stuff. That's actually one of the more valuable things that I can do is drive around, play the game like a player, and give people feedback on their work. But a lot of the time, being in the game industry for how many years has it been now? Like coming up on 18 years. You know, most of that time, you know, working as at least in part as an implementer. Oh, this is a kind of a loud song here. Let me pull that volume down a little bit. Working as an implementer, you know, you sort of, especially working on teams that did a lot of crunching, and oftentimes got into bad situations. I developed this work ethic that means that like if I'm not being like tangibly productive, I feel guilty. I feel really bad. Like something has gone wrong in my life, and it's not entirely healthy. But that does mean that, like, you know, even, you know, when I'm in a leadership role in a team, I still keep seeking out ways that I can personally implement things. You know, I keep volunteering for jobs and stuff like that, which, you know, I think it's, to some degree, it's good to keep my hand in, to keep understanding the tools. You know, it's good to have somebody, you know, who is not usually assigned to do implementation work available to do it in an emergency. You know, and so that means, like, keeping my skills fresh is good. Like, there's good things about it, but if I do too much of it, that means I don't have time to evaluate anything else that's going on in the team. I don't have time to sort of offer, you know, perspective and approval and endorsement of other people's work, which sometimes can be really valuable. Even if I don't have anything, you know, like somebody has, you know, solved all the problems themselves, they don't actually need any input from me in terms of, you know, trying to make their work better. just knowing that I've played it and endorsed it, and that I've said, yes, this is definitely the right move. Good job. That builds confidence and on the team, and it makes people feel good about their work. To know that somebody has approved it and signed off on it and says, yeah, this is not just something you're going out on a limb and doing. Somebody's officially approved this, and this should be in the game. Oh, I hate these pieces. Whatever. It doesn't. Yeah, you can make mistakes at this low difficulty level, and it's totally fine. As a Ranithcord congratulated me for filling that one hole, only now I have just made more holes for myself. I'm just digging them deeper and deeper. But, if there weren't holes, then there wouldn't be the satisfaction of filling holes. So, it's all good. Alright. I should pull up the volume again just because this song is pretty. Like, the whole point of this, I think, is to be able to do something that is both engaging and relaxing at the same time. That's actually, that's not the easiest mix of emotions to create. To make somebody feel, like their attention is fully engaged, but they are also chilling out. Sometimes engaging somebody's full attention is very stressful. Like, say, if I was playing Call of Duty or something, that wouldn't relax me. That would give me different positive feelings, but I wouldn't be chilling out. This game looks like it's really trying to go for that sweet spot between being exciting and being relaxing. Okay. Hole revealed, and... Oh, what? Oh, I got 36 lines. Sweet. Can you all hear me just fine over the music? I did turn it up a little bit, which makes me nervous. Oh, whoa. Whoa, okay. I didn't realize we were going to keep going with... Is this the same setup? I think it is. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what it looked like. I guess I've decided I want a 4-piece line there. 4-block line? What do you call those? I'm sure there are names for these pieces. I mean, there are enough people who are hardcore experts in this game. There's no way they have not named all of these pieces. I just don't know what they're called. I mean, I assume that's an L. Maybe this is a T. Maybe this is a... Yeah. Oh. Line seems wrong, because line is what you score with. That's probably a square. S? Or I guess that might be an S. The other one might be a Z. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, Janimal says that I sound fun to them, so if I sound terrible, blame Janimal, because I'm just going to take their word for it. By the way, like, the thing that I'm immediately kind of taken aback by is how different this stage looks compared to the previous stage. I mean, there's definitely elements in common, right? We got like the sort of starfield patterns in the background and stuff, but the pieces are all like shimmering and animating and moving in different ways. And it seems like a subtle thing, but each time something shimmers or moves in a different way in a video game, that means somebody spent significant time making that happen. And that's just the first 2 stages. Is it just going to keep varying like that? Does this game mostly involve like animators and like shader programmers, like just making millions of different ways for Tetris blocks to look? I don't know. I haven't seen much of the game yet, but it's just the difference between these 2 stages gives me that impression that that's what I should look forward to. Greeting Scar says there are single letter names for all the tetrominoes that are widely accepted. See, I had forgotten the word tetromino, so there you go. Oh, okay, so instead of the square, they call that one an O. What's the tall one or wide one called? It's mostly a tall one. Very rarely do I see someone actually use it for anything besides tallness. So that one was probably an L, because it's facing the same way as an L. I assume that those must be an S and a Z. But the one that's sort of an inverted L. What's that one? Greeting Scar says I. Well, that makes sense. Could be a capital sans serif I. I'm assuming you're talking about the tall one when you say I. All right, we're doing this. Just a couple more. Well, technically a couple is two, but when you're using a word like couple, you get to be a little bit imprecise. So I'm not going to do this forever because I realize that watching somebody play Tetris who is not like a grandmaster of Tetris isn't the most exciting thing in the world. Now, people who are really, really good at Tetris, of which I am not one, it can be mesmerizing to watch them work, to watch them make decisions so quickly. They don't even need to see anything in order to know exactly what moves to make. It blows your mind sometimes what people can pull off with this game. That is not me. I'm just sort of a nice, normal, average human who can play Tetris-ish, you know? I'm definitely not playing this right now to show off my astonishing skill at Tetris. I am playing this because I need a little bit of a break today. That's something that Tetris can offer you, because, you know, it's interesting sort of, I mean, thinking about what it is that relaxes a person, right? Because a lot of the time, like, you would kind of imagine that what somebody needs if they want to relax is nothing, right? They need as little as possible, as little stimulation as possible. That's not true, because my brain is perfectly capable of coming up with its own stuff to think about and worry about. Like, when you've got a brain that naturally fills itself with anxiety, what you need is not nothing in order to relax. What you need is something that can engage your brain fully. Ooh, the color change. That was neat. You need something that can engage your brain fully, but not in a stressful way. Not in a way that, like, makes you upset about genuine things. Sometimes, like, when I'm feeling sort of anxious and stir crazy, like, I can't even, like, playing just a video game is usually not enough. I'll usually need to, like, find a game that I can play while also watching a YouTube video or something like that. It's like I will need to have, it's like I've got, like, multiple open channels in my head, and they will be filled with unpleasant feelings unless I fill them with something else. And so it's the better of a job I can do at filling all of the channels, all of the inputs for my brain, the more my brain can then actually relax. Oh, so Cerebral Emesis wants to know. He knows that on State of Decay 2, you know, we are a union shop when it comes to actors, so we can't just have random people come in and do voices. And honestly, like, random people wouldn't want to. It would now take to record a new voice for a playable character in State of Decay 2 would take weeks because there's so many lines. But he's asking if we need to use union faces for our face scanning. And no, we don't. But right now we actually don't have the capacity on the team to do that. We're not really set up right now to scan new faces, and so we're not scanning new faces right now. If we get the chance sometime in the future, you know, that would probably be fun. But for right this second, we don't have... We're just not staffed up for that. I've cleared 100 lines and received an achievement. And actually, I think... There we go! I had a Game Pass quest to get an achievement. Well, I would say this is definitely time well spent. Okay, so let's see. Actually, let's do that. Okay, let's see if we can do this move. Boom! Yes! I love that little tiny moment before it actually officially slides in. Sure. And then this. Sadly, didn't get to use it where I wanted to, but that's fine. Oh, no, dang it. I'm just making more and more holes. This isn't good. And they're starting to move fast enough that it's challenging my ability to make decisions quickly enough. Like, I can't stop and think anymore. Which means, unfortunately, I also can't read the chat. Greetings says, I can't find games with timers relaxing. Tetris has falling, and so I can't relax. That makes perfect sense. I understand. For me, I still find it, even though, like, I find it relaxing because I don't actually care if I win. That's part of the, like, I'm gonna try not to lose, but I also don't. Oh, okay, so wait, so I won? How do they decide that I've won and that it was time to stop? Because I, like, hit a line limit multiple times, didn't I? And they decided, oh, that was a victory, but now it's time to keep going? That's interesting. Something's talking to me. It's weird. And I'm back down to sort of normal, slow speed. But anyway, yeah, it's like because I don't actually care whether or not I'm good at Tetris or if I win at Tetris, I'm able to relax even despite the timer because I just, you know, I don't consider the consequences to be that big of a deal. Like, oh no, I lost Tetris. So I feel like early on these voices were actually directly responding to my moves. But then as the music picked up, I lost that connection. They might still be reacting somehow to my moves, but I'm not picking up that they are. But it definitely felt like early on when I was making my first moves, the music was directly reacting to my input. Maybe that could also have been in my imagination. That's very easy. That's a very easy kind of thing to do. Oh, Cloudcraft says he missed the reason we were talking about unions. The reason I was talking about a union was because the Screen Actors Guild, we're a union shop when it comes to voice acting. And so that limits who we can, you know, bring in as voice actors. Cerebral by the way, it's not just a union. I'm also not a good actor. That's another reason why I would probably never try to do voice for our game. It's not just the fact that I'm not in the union. There's a reason I'm not in the union. It's because I'm not an actor. And... you know, while I'm comfortable speaking in public, you know, and I enjoy talking to an audience, that's a very different thing from being a naturalistic actor. And that's, I mean, and I'm not that bad at sort of like giving direction to actors, sort of like saying, hey, this is the kind of tone of voice that this should be set in. And I can sort of like imitate it and like I can sort of describe what I'm looking for from like intonations and stuff like that, but I can't actually do it myself in a convincing way. When I'm trying to act, I look like a guy trying to act, and it's something you pick up on a very subtle level. Like a huge part of an actor's training is learning how to like simulate emotions, either internally or externally, however they approach it, to simulate emotions in a way that an audience finds convincing, because humans are so good at detecting dishonesty, at, like parsing the difference between real emotion and fake emotion. Like it's a survival skill, it's something we've evolved because, sensing duplicity, like humans have always been each other's greatest danger, right? It's like, yeah, maybe we're a little bit scared of a saber-toothed tiger, but we're more scared of either being attacked by another human, being ostracized by another human. There's ways that humans can hurt each other that are way more dangerous to a typical human than anything that nature, outside of humans can threaten them with. And so our ability to detect a human that is a threat, or a human that is lying to us, or something like that, that was one of the most important survival skills we could develop. It's one of the best edges that evolution could give us. And so we've all got it. Like we're not all the best at it, but it's in there. Our ability to sort of figure out that somebody else is not actually what they say they are. And so violating that, like basically being able to fool someone consistently into thinking you are someone that you're not, even if they know intellectually that you're not who you say you are, getting them to really sort of believe it in the moment enough to enjoy a story, that's a very, very hard skill. And you can sort of be intellectually aware of what needs to happen and not be able to physically pull it off as an actual, person in reality trying to do the thing. So I've got a lot of respect for actors. I can't do what they do. Graceface asks if this game is on Switch. I'm not sure, but I would be really surprised if it's not. The reason I'm playing on an Xbox isn't because I, assume that that's the superior platform for it. It's just because it was on Game Pass, and so I didn't have to pay anything extra for it. Of Gears. Why not? Why not Gears? Why not Gears? And these windmills coming at me? Okay. Here's the thing I don't understand about artists. How do they come up with this arbitrary stuff? I'm just like, I don't know. Usually, like when I'm doing the creative work of sort of pitching a brand new game or a brand new world for something to take place in, there's usually some kind of like logical process that gets me there. I don't know. I don't mean that, like, when sometimes people talk about how logical they are in some sort of like self-aggrandizing way that's actually really sort of unself-knowing and stupid. I'm not saying that I'm a particularly logical person, but like usually, there's some, I don't know, something from the real world, some inspiration from fiction, something that I'm trying to recreate. Like, say, the zombie apocalypse, for instance. There's something that there's some experience from reality or from imagined reality, a position someone could imagine putting themselves into, that I'm trying to recreate. I don't feel like I'm usually creating something completely arbitrary from scratch. When an artist is told, hey, you're making the background for a Tetris game, and sort of the motif for a Tetris game, and it can be literally anything. How in the world do they choose windmills? I mean, were they just doodling like, windmills? Yeah, sure. Like, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, why did you decide to do that? It's neat, but why? How did it get there? I mean, this is the thing that makes it so hard for an AI to truly replicate a human being, is the fact that human beings can do this. I'm exaggerating the astonishingness of it. I mean, obviously, I have also come up with random things to draw before, for instance, but I know that it's possible, but sometimes it's like, you're just like, why this? And it's difficult to program a computer to come up with arbitrary things. It's the human ability to decide to do arbitrary things that makes us human. Actually, like, people tend to, talking about people who pride themselves on being logical, a lot of the time, all that means is that they don't actually understand how their emotions work. Emotions are not just a human being irrational because they're having such a powerful feeling welling up inside them. That's not the only thing that emotions are. Like, emotional decisions are all of our arbitrary decisions are emotional. There's nothing logical that decides, like, oh, I don't know, I've got a whole empty day today. What am I going to do? I don't know, I'll go for a walk. Like, there's nothing, that's an emotional decision. There's no, like, logical way to determine the correct thing to do with an empty day. There's no correct thing. And that's sort of where, like when somebody has sort of the emotional centers of their brain damaged, that's one of the consequences sometimes is, that can be one of the consequences is they lose the ability to make arbitrary decisions. And you have to, like, tell them, like, oh, hey, you're eating soup? Hey, put the spoon in the soup. All right, cool. Lift the spoon to your mouth. Awesome. Put the spoon in your mouth. Great. Eat the soup. And they're like, okay. And then they're sitting there, hungry, and they're like, hey, do the soup thing again. And you basically have to tell them every single step, because we rely so heavily on our ability to make arbitrary decisions and just decide what to do next and have it not matter, but we still made a decision. And that's why I'm not really scared of the AI apocalypse, because we spent, eons developing the ability to make arbitrary decisions, evolving the ability to make arbitrary decisions and to think in this very specific way because of survival pressures and the ability to be selfish, the ability to value self-preservation, as sort of a terminal virtue, things like that. Like, all that stuff, we developed that, over, like, eons and eons of evolution. As long as we don't, like, specifically program an AI to be absolutely self-interested and be able to make arbitrary decisions to just do whatever the crap it wants, it's gonna sit there and do the things we told it to do. Like, I don't feel this, like, it's this, like, overwhelming fear that at some point an AI is just going to be, like, arbitrarily decide that, its own self-preservation is the most important thing and needs to kill all humans or something. I'm just like, that just doesn't strike fear into my heart. I think that, the way that humans use AI, it might be one more tool in our arsenal of ways to hurt each other, and it could, make some of our means of damaging each other, either on purpose or by accident, more powerful. I'm just not that scared of an artificial intelligence just spontaneously being a threat the way that a human is a threat. But that's just, I think that's one of my more, like, I don't know, at least among the tech community, probably one of my more unpopular opinions, probably. It's a lot more fun, I think, for some people to, like, either to imagine the excitement of an AI apocalypse, or to, I don't know, to imagine themselves as the lone hero who can see the threat that no one else can see. I think that's a very attractive thing, so that's probably a pejorative way to view other people's perspectives. Maybe I shouldn't do it that way. It is fun seeing some of the things that AI can do now, though. Like those videos of an AI, like, going through, like, a footage of a grocery store and trying to recognize dogs and everything. I'm like, wow, That is totally what my brain is doing all the time. I remember as a little kid, there was this at the sort of like little preschool that I went to. There was this wall. It was kind of like a tack board, but it had this pattern of dots on it, where each row of dots was shifted 50% to the side, so that like it was between the upper pair. So it was almost like a hexagonal, like a tessellating hexagonal pattern. And I just saw faces everywhere in it. And I was like fascinated as a kid by like, I can see a face anywhere I want. And I would just play it like a game, just like, wow, where can I see faces? I can see faces everywhere. And so watching an AI do that is fascinating. I'm so sorry that I can't read all of your brilliant comments about these weird subjects that I'm bringing up. I'm mostly just bringing them up to sort of like to fill time in chat because I'm, playing a Tetris game and I can't look over and read what you all are saying. I hope that you're all finding each other's opinions fascinating and entertaining. I cannot imagine why somebody would want to watch this on YouTube later. If you're watching this on YouTube later and you've made it this far, I hope that this is giving you some kind of like relaxation or something, because just listening to me blather and being completely unable to talk to anyone or communicate with anyone feels like it might be dull. Then again, we are talking about games that sort of just relax you arbitrarily by filling channels in your head, and maybe that's what you're getting out of this is, somebody's talking in your ear, and that fills a channel in your head, and it helps you relax. If that's what's going on, then cool. I'm glad that we're on the same page, because that's what it's doing for me, too. Or maybe watching me be bad at this game is actually filling you with anxiety and making it impossible for you to relax. I don't know. Maybe that's happening to people watching me live, but I can't tell because I can't look away from the screen to read the chat. Oh, I just glanced to the right for the very first time to see what was coming next. Not because I didn't know it was there, but just because traditionally I've had enough time to react to each thing that happened that I didn't need to plan ahead, but yeah, I definitely need to plan ahead right now. But I'm not, and I'm just leaving this patchwork of holes, and this is gonna get me. I'm gonna be dead. There's nowhere good to put this. Oh, finally something. Alright, that leaves a hole, but immediately clears it. That's fine. This one. That one. There. I don't know. No, there. And then... Woo! Just barely. Wow. Oh, but there's more. I think it slowed it down temporarily. And it's on fire. Oh, no, I can't do that. Crap, I have to do that. Because everything else just stacks it too tall. But then I have to put this here. And now, oh, I just screwed myself over. Oh, no! Oh, no, everything's terrible. No, this is the worst. Why am I doing this? No, just throwing things away in the garbage is what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and that was next, and I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, no. That was temporary. Oh, my gosh. This is not gonna be any good for... No, why did I... No! This is terrible. Okay, well, there's Tetris Effect. We played until I failed, which was, I think, a noble goal. Well, that was fun. That was actually kind of cool and relaxing, and I could totally see myself, like, playing that while listening to a podcast or something like that. That's really cool. Let me try to catch up with the chat just a little bit. Oh, hey. So BV Tankman, of course, is a bot who came in there and started harassing us. Actually, that reminds me, I was also going to mod Jedi Psych Tricks. Jedi... Because she asked, and I'm like, I got no problem with that. I don't want, you know, I don't want Cloudcraft to have to bear the entire burden. Jedi, did that work for you? So, all right. Well, that was that. Let me see. Okay, so what are we going to do next? I don't know. Well, first we got to end this video. So I'm just going to throw up the bar and say you can subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with the chat a little bit more, and then we'll go find a different game to play.